Faith and Empire, the untold story of the Roman Church in the Congo. An original EFG-AFRICA documentary. In the heart of Central Africa, along the vast and powerful Congo River, a story unfolded, one often softened, simplified, or left untold. When European powers arrived in the Congo during the late 19th century, they did not come alone. Alongside soldiers, traders, and colonial administrators came the Roman Church, most prominently the Roman Catholic Church. They came with Bibles in hand and a mission to save souls. But salvation came at a cost.
Ancient earth, a silent hum, where the sun and shadows come. Deep roots hold the desert wide, whispers of the ancient tide. Mountains sleep in solemn grace, time etched on this hallowed place. But the winds begin to sigh. A shadow gathers in the sky.
Even with the support from European Catholicism and Christian Democrats. The Christian Democratic International CDI supported the regime before, during and after the genocide. Rwanda has had a long, unusually strong bond to Christianity. Missionaries started the Belgian colonization. Belgium gave the church authority to handle the administration. The Vatican focused on Rwanda because it was such fertile ground for Christianity. The people were monotheistic, and the kingdom already had a well-functioning central administration. Other African colonies had many gods and poor administrations. With the church monopoly on education, the people were rapidly converted. Rwanda was to become the Christian ideal, the kingdom of God on earth.
Under the brutal regime of King Leopold II, the Congo Free State became one of the most violent colonial experiments in history. Millions of Congolese people suffered under forced labor, particularly in the extraction of rubber, a resource that fueled Europe's industrial rise. And the church? Before I continue, in order to embark on this journey with African heritage, where we tell the history of Black excellence and correct the wrong narration of Black Africans, like this video, subscribe and become the part of the community. Your support helps to grow the channel.
The Belgian colonial powers and the church ruled through the Tutsis. The elite, tension arose between the church and the Tutsis. As independence spread in Africa, the Tutsis turned to the east and contacted African revolutionary leaders. Christian Democratic Belgium and the Catholic Church would lose power if the independent Rwanda became communist. They switched sides, now supporting the West-friendly Hutu majority. The Hutu leaders didn't miss the chance to encourage ethnic tension by pointing out the former Tutsi privileges and encouraging revolt. Archbishop André Perrodin had influence even in the new regime. Archbishop André Perrodin had influence even in the new regime. He saw the guerrilla as a communist threat to the ideal Christian state and equated them with Satan. One man of the church connected to the regime but who later became a critic was Brother Damascène.
Donc voilà, il y a toujours un mélange de religion et de massacres. On préparait en quelque sorte pour faciliter, pour minimiser, banaliser les massacres. Roger était là.
But the Habyarimana regime chose to use religion to control the people. When the Pope visited Rwanda in September 1990, it was one of Habyarimana's biggest propaganda victories. The church also participated, describing the Tutsis as cursed by God. The Bible was often quoted in media and political speeches. One of the most well-known speeches was made by party leader Leon Mugesera on the radio.
We rise, we toil for what is ours, through sun-scorched days and starlit hours, a golden dream, a sovereign plea, for all the world to finally see.
With every strike, a future gleams, built on strength and hopeful dreams.
Children's voices soft and clear, echoing, banishing all fear. Gold light dawns, a new day near.
Icyo gihe ni ukuvuga ko twebwe abaturage bagombye gukora tugomba kwikorera izo ngegera tukazitemba. Ibi mbibabwiye mu manyakuri nk'uko byanditse mu ivanjiri. Igihe muzemera ko inzoka iza kubarya mukayireka ikabagumamo ni mwebwe muzashira.
Et maintenant, psychologiquement, le tout, c'est on ne sait pas. Comment voulez-vous alors? Ça n'a rien à faire. Vous tuez en direction vous attaquez. Donc, c'est l'autodéfense.
In reality, both Hutu and Tutsi were Christians. Most Rwandans were poor farmers with no ethnic or religious differences. But the ethnical propaganda continued. In 1973, Juvenal Habyarimana became president. A government document emphasized ethnical differences between the groups, despite many intermarriages. A pure-blooded Hutu would look like this, and a Tutsi like this. The difference was in the shape of the nose. It was jokingly called nose politics. A Hutu nose should be wide and a Tutsi nose narrow. The people had been the regime's primary tool for genocide. But the rank and file, fed on racism, religion and fear of communism, never lost faith. President Habyarimana was very religious, as was the Belgian king, the two heads of state. The church was integrated into the government. Priests managed party affairs on all levels. And the archbishop was a member of the party's central committee. The Christian Democrats in Brussels appreciated the strong Christian influence and that the regime was anti-communist. The bonds were strengthened when Mathieu and Grimpats became the contact between the regime and the Belgian Christian Democrats.
It built schools. It established missions. It baptized, educated, and spread Christianity across the land. Missionaries often presented themselves as protectors of the people, voices of morality in a system built on exploitation. But the reality was far more complex. Some missionaries documented atrocities, exposing the horrors to the outside world. Their testimonies helped spark global outrage, contributing to the eventual end of Leopold's personal rule in what became known as the Congo Free State atrocities. Yet others remained silent. Some aligned themselves with colonial authorities. In mission schools, Congolese children were taught not only religion, but obedience. European culture was elevated, while African traditions were often suppressed, labeled as primitive or pagan. Faith became intertwined with power. The church, intentionally or not, became part of the colonial structure, helping to reshape identities, languages, and belief systems across generations. And this is where history becomes selective. Many traditional narratives highlight the church's role in education, healthcare, and moral guidance. These contributions were real. But what is often left out is the deeper question. At what point does spiritual guidance become cultural erasure? At what point does silence become complicity? The story of the Roman Church in the Congo is not one of pure villainy, nor pure virtue. It is a story of contradiction, of light and shadow existing side by side. A story where faith walked hand in hand with empire. And today, as the Democratic Republic of Congo continues to shape its identity, the echoes of that past remain in its languages, its institutions, and its beliefs. History is not just what is told. It is also what is left unsaid.
En 1980, exactement en octobre 1980, l'Internationale démocrate chrétienne a organisé sa première réunion publique en Afrique, à Kigali.
The Christian Democratic Party took over, tolerating no opposition. Citizens were required by law to be party members. Prisons were filled. It was illegal to belong to a group that questioned the church involvement in the government. Those who protested were imprisoned. Belgian Prime Minister Wilfred Martens was the man behind Europe's Christian democratic politics. He was vice president of the Christian Democratic International during the genocide. He too supported Rwanda's leaders. President Habyarimana's power increased with international support. France too supported the regime to gain local influence. Prior to the genocide, Léon Saur was Secretary General of the Belgian Christian Democratic Party, PSC. But unlike his fellows, he left the party in protest against the actions of the Christian Democrats in Rwanda. But the Christian Democratic International advised the regime not to sign any agreement of power sharing. The Tutsi guerrilla were still perceived as communists.
De favoriser une entente au sein du gouvernement et d'éviter d'aller négocier à Arusha et de se faire départager entre les différents partis présents à Arusha par le FPR, ce qui était véritablement une tactique qui a conduit à l'échec de tout le processus d'Arusha et à la reprise de la guerre.
Une œuvre de Dieu contre les forces du mal.
The Christian Democratic International's resistance to peace talks benefited the Christian Democratic Hutu extremists. The war went on. The propaganda became increasingly religious. The regime-friendly press printed the Hutu 10 Commandments, which encouraged persecution of Tutsis in all parts of society. One paper rejected talk about love and unity in a dialogue between Mary, Jesus and Joseph. Habyarimana was portrayed in a bishop dress. A private radio station was established by the elite surrounding the boss Félicien Kabuga, the same businessman who gave machetes to Interahamwe. Radio station Mille Collines, later called Radio Murder, pumped out hate propaganda.
Ancient earth, a silent hum, where the sun and shadows come. Deep roots hold the desert wide, whispers of the ancient tide, mountains sleep in solemn grace, time etched on this hallowed place. But the winds begin to sigh, a shadow gathers in the sky.
We rise, we toil for what is ours, through sun-scorched days and starlit hours, a golden dream, a sovereign plea, for all the world to finally see.
With every strike, a future gleams, built on strength and hopeful dreams.
Children's voices soft and clear, echoing, banishing all fear. Gold light dawns, a new day near.
A well-known radio voice was Belgian George Ruggiero, who regularly incited hatred against the Tutsis.
Il défie maintenant Dieu, le Seigneur, qui va lui envoyer sa foudre et le condamner définitivement. Les foudres du peuple et les foudres de Dieu vont s'unir pour leur apporter le châtiment qu'ils méritent.
Ruggiero is today convicted of crimes against humanity and incitement to genocide. A few months before the genocide, a youth leader left Interahamwe and informed the world that the genocide was being planned.
We find dozens of evidence in the archives from the Foreign Minister in Belgium, and these archives shows very clearly that not only Belgium had this information, but that this information was shared with the United Nations, the US, and France.
Christian Democrats in Brussels also supported the regime. Even in June, documents encouraged Europe's Christian Democrats to continue supporting their friends in Rwanda. They gave the regime diplomatic support in contacts with Belgium. The influence of its party members. Alain de Brouwer went to refugee camps to meet with the Hutu regime. They began promoting the peace accord that the Christian Democratic International had rejected before, sharing power with the Tutsis. Alain Destex, upset by the Christian Democrats' actions, initiated a Senate investigation into Belgium's role. Alain de Brouwer and Wilfred Martens of the Christian Democratic International still see nothing wrong with their support of the Rwandan party. No one from the Christian Democratic International has been charged. Several priests and nuns have been convicted for participating. Mariana, now grown, still goes to the church to mourn her parents.
And so, the story doesn't end here. Because the truth about the Congo is not just buried in the past. It lives on in the present, in the voices that were silenced, in the cultures that were reshaped, and in the faith that still stands today. History is powerful, but understanding it is even more powerful. Because when we begin to question what we've been told, we begin to see what was never meant to be seen. And maybe that's where real change begins. So, if this story opened your eyes, even just a little, take a moment to like this video because it helps more people discover stories like this. Subscribe to the channel for more untold histories, powerful documentaries, and stories the world should never forget. And And most importantly, share this video with someone else, because awareness spreads truth, and truth shapes the future. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being part of a generation that refuses to look away. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and keep seeking